We still have not yet set up the meeting with Sam and the tour. I think we're gonna aim to do that next week.
Yeah.
On the height issue. The sign bylaw, we haven't really done anything on, am I right?
Correct.
Right. I mean, it's, I realize what's happened is the move over here and a number of other things in the summer is, and then the setbacks, that should be pretty easy though. And then the noise, did we ever get anything from Jenny on that?
She referred me to a couple of things. She was in town hall or here on Tuesday, and we spoke. And I've done a little research myself, but she was going to look a little more, because I think it was really Sam's.
Similar towns, I mean, it's, to me.
Yeah, similar towns. I think I found one in Lexington and a couple of others. And it was really, Sam's concern primarily was construction noise.
Yeah, I agree.
So.
And, you know, off the top of my head, it would seem that construction noise in a residential zone is different than construction noise in a commercial zone.
Right.
And we only have a few commercial zones. But anyway, so I think we can take a look at that. And then I'm trying to think of that. And that's it. Those are all those items. Appearances in there, Mr. Grasso. How are you?
How you doing?
Good.
For the record, my name is Robert Grasso from Engineering Land Services. Gina Green,
Oh, I'm glad you did.
which is located at 6 Myers Lane. His Main Street, or Myers Lane that comes off Main Street, it's a gravel paved road. Here's our frontage right here. The existing lot was created in '75. It used to go straight through like this. And I think in the recent years, the planning board signed off in '01 to give this property owner some septic area. He had a septic failure and he didn't have any room in the back of his house, so the planning board granted a little parcel for him. So
he bought the parcel?
Yeah,
Okay.
off that lot. The existing lot is in green right now. What we're doing, she failed the Title V, she wants to sell the house, so we went out there and we did test pits with the Board of Health right here, and a perk test right here. It's all sand, pure sand. We designed the system, it's been approved by the Board of Health, and so we're proposing to do, it's a family, basically.
Oh, it's all family?
Well,
Are these,
Campanelli, that's Campanelli.
Is this house,
Yeah.
is this the White House?
10, 12, yes.
Okay.
So it's all family.
This is an open
That's
field?
That's her father,
This
yes,
is
an
an
open
open
field.
field.
This is a garden area.
Right.
So one of the son that lives at the house, they're into gardening, so he said, is there any way I can at least half the garden? And that was the whole purpose of the plan. So I said, I located that, and I said, here's the half. And parcel A was 73,000.
It's gonna be 44.
So parcel 1 is 28,000 minus that, and she has a total area of 44,457 square feet, 1.02 acres. And then this parcel, which is a non-buildable lot, would be combined with lot 45, 10 and 12 Main Street. Their area plus the 28, and then come up to 1.95 acres.
So, once this happens, this really doesn't change the frontage, which is still a problem
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, right.
I mean, she's always gonna have a non-conforming
Yeah,
frontage.
exactly.
on that.
Yes. And they have sufficient frontage, as they have 126.98, they have sufficient area. This lot still has sufficient area. It's
Just out of curiosity, Mike, do you know anything about, or is it anything here related to the property that's for sale that's vacant on the
No,
water?
there's not.
It's just entirely
This is
separate?
just all within the family right here. This is all,
Okay.
that's the intent of this plan, was
Okay.
just to save this garden. I guess they're into gardening. And,
Say that disparagingly.
well, I mean, with, the water, with the water supply that we have right now. So that lot line would be removed, this lot line would be removed, and it would be one parcel, which is 1.1. Okay.
So you're reducing a non-conforming use at the same time?
Yes, yes.
But it's non-conformance.
Would be.
This action has nothing to do with the
No, I
non-conformance.
understand.
so,
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So basically, they just want to just take a chunk off. It's a flat piece of land, but it's 95. There's a tree line here, have some type of buffer from the sound.
Okay. Any more formal comments from board members?
Looks like pretty vanilla to me.
Pretty vanilla to me. Can I have
Move to
a
approve.
move to approve? All right, a second?
Second.
Any further comment on it? None? Carried. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Just wonder if I could have.
Nice fight.
I'll sign it.
My last time. The lawyers asking for it. They want to call it.
Can you give that back to the?
Sure.
That was the first one.
It's signing pad, that's what I think. Yeah. Where am I? Here.
The other house.
The other
one use it, because it doesn't have enough frontage.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's all it is, that was signed up.
Yeah.
8216.
Yeah, you can have those, they can sign that for the record. So we record it. I think,
I better talk to my friend, because he's about to go in to see
Bridge.
that.
The north side. Here today for about 9:30.
Gentlemen, thank you for your time.
So I went in, I just set the pool for.
He's been out single.
And then I just said, "Oh, go short the air conditioning." So that's what I did. When I came back, and I got over there,
Down
it
in
was all work.
Westport. Nice town, but nothing around.
Yeah, these days, it's like, you don't want to have anything. You want it to be on the outside.
Not really, no. And of course, that's what I was. I think I was 5 times. That's the format when they finish. Yeah.
Very good assistant.
He's done very well.
Just because I'm in Elizabeth's chair.
She's very good. She's very good. Do we know where Elizabeth went on vacation?
We don't.
I don't know.
She got it.
I guess she doesn't want
Well,
to.
I like it.
And then sign it.
Yeah.
Hmm?
We just need one of those.
You don't need to do this?
You can do that, yeah.
Mr. Holt? How are you? Good. I don't think we've met you before. Bill?
About a year ago. A little while.
Okay. So this is 184 lot split. The owner's Donna and Ron Seam. Same. My name is EI and it's I.
Just a quirky thing, my dad wanted it pronounced that way, so that's the way we do it.
That's the way it is.
That's good. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we'll share this.
Here today, just supervising.
Oh, wait, I want to say. I must admit, I tried to understand this on the small digitized version, and I couldn't understand it. So anything you can do to explain this to us will be helpful.
Good. Everybody else needed the subject. And street in here. Bill Holt, surveyor for assigned Sains, and buyer, actually, just gonna buy the big old lot. Right now it's 23.1 acres, the total area. Has frontage on Middle Road at 2 places. Right in here, 156 feet of frontage. The little neck goes out and expands up to this
Wow, that's amazing.
large
What a
piece of
lot.
property. Another, actually it's another 200 and, almost 300 feet of frontage here altogether. But this new lot is 157 and 153 feet of frontage, in this area where the driveway is located.
Yeah, remember right here?
Yeah, right here, this is 100 feet free for this lot. The new lot line is going to be this yellow, I highlight here yellow, it's kind of a funky shape, but it's going to follow a wall here and then go off into there's a big field out here that Mr. Same wants to keep for his use. So he's selling the rest of the land, 18.9 acres on lot X, which is this bigger one, which has frontage in two places, here and here, both conforming 157 feet here and 156 feet there. But he's going to use this as his access for this existing access right now, this lot. There's actually a common driveway right there now that goes to the house on this lot, which was split off 1999, I believe. Sold in 2000 and built in 2001. They had a driveway here that they both use is actually a existing driveway that splits off this, that goes to that house. And what the new buyer wants to do is to separate that as much as possible. He's going to have it common as it comes in, but then he's going to split it, build a new driveway through here, connect with the old one, and this portion is going to be eliminated. This is going to stay for this person.
So it remains common for about 150 feet or something?
Yeah,
Is
a
that
little
the
bit
right?
less, about 125.
Yeah, okay.
But he wants to split it up and make it as much as possible as separate, so they have their own driveways and they maintain themselves. Now, the old driveway used to come up and do a little loop right here, it's gonna still stay. And then there was an old house, 184, that has been raised in 2014. Just prior to taking it down, they put a new septic system in. We're gonna maintain that same system for the new house that we're gonna build over here.
And did the same, you did that work? You
Yes.
demolished it?
Yep.
Okay, so just so I understand.
Currently on 184, there's no house. There was a house, there's a septic, there's a well.
But there's a proposed structure,
Yeah, proposed.
whatever it's gonna be,
Yeah, right here.
nice.
Good sized house.
Yep,
The new buyer would provide 18.9 acres.
okay.
And the other one is 4.2 acres, it's remaining, it's going to be retained by the same. It is a buildable lot, has frontage area, so it could be a buildable lot. Right now, I think he's just going to combine.
It's part of the agreement that we won't build on it. We want
So,
to-
so your house is this other property up here just to the right, am I right?
Yes.
This,
Picture of it.
This one right here.
this one right here?
Yes, this is us.
So you have that, you owned all of this,
We own all of that.
and you're
right
now, you're gonna subdivide these. You wanna keep that
They
as a
wanted to buy
buffer.
everything, and we said no.
Right.
And they came back.
You got a buffer
So
of about 5
we
acres.
want to keep, this is a beautiful field here, and a magnificent field back here. So,
Good, okay.
Good for you.
yeah, it is.
So basically, the two lots split, both have conforming frontages and way more area. 4.2 acres, 18.9 acres. Clearly, the CBA is well over 30,000 on both. We did show wetlands, a couple of spots, there's one right here, a little farmer's pond, a little pond back here with some wetlands, and then there's a little depression right through here at the back. And then over here, there's an ACDC, which you can identify off the JS maps, the very corner of the lot, which we're not going to be anywhere near proposed development. So we do show a proposed potential well location, because we may put a new drilled well in, this is a dug well, we may want a new drilled well, as opposed to having the old well. So it is there, it's still usable, but he's indicated to me he's going to put a new well in.
Any specific comments from board members? I mean, meets both the criteria we've got.
Looks okay to me.
It's fine to me. So with that, may I have a motion, please?
Move to accept.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You're all done. Except for signing. Is this for, yeah, this is for this one.
Where do you want to
How many of
sign?
these do you need?
We need
That's your 5.
4 paper,
4.
4 Mylar.
4 paper, I can do the paper now. if you want.
my pen.
One.
We actually only have one board member sign.
Oh, okay.
So,
It saves you time.
Thank you.
Here's three.
I'm waiting for Rachel.
Rachel's,
coming?
Rachel's not coming. I'm manning the ship on my own.
And this is, Bill, this is for yours?
Just the part of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does he think for this place?
you can, but you still have to do it.
Just do it. But then we really have to take, it's better to give it to him, take and walk away with it. Okay. Chrissy, how are you?
I'm well. How are you? So we were here in March and we got an approval to make a modification to a previous site plan
Right.
review. So this was what you approved back in March.
Excuse me, Johnny, do you need to recuse yourself?
I'm sorry?
Are you recusing yourself?
Yes, Chrissy's architect is a client,
Good, thank you.
and I'm involved in this job. You were.
So we just need to note that.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, so this is what was approved. The building, we had to scale back the building for budgetary reasons a little bit. But more importantly, we had this lighter gray area is what was approved. And when John came out and looked at how close the foundation was to the corner of the existing building, we all just got really concerned that the excavation was not gonna go well. So we just tipped the building. It was supposed to come out like this, and we just turned it slightly to alleviate this corner being so close. So I'm just here, I don't know exactly what I need to approval, but
You
that
need-
little shift is okay.
It's that shift and then also is the square footage different? I'm not guessing the square footage is
The
different.
house reduced in size.
Yeah.
With a nice porch.
Has a lovely porch.
There's a-
Much more manageable size house.
There's a table on the site plan of the net differences in
So the
impervious
impervious
surface.
surface is here. This was our total limit with the first approval, so we're still within that. And then down here, I can go into a nice explanation that if you would like to know what all of that is.
So the existing impervious landscaping to be, so what's the total? If this
So
was.
This is what we were approved for.
So what is it now?
With the existing house, and then we had, in our original site plan, had been approved for a 360-foot square foot addition. The new house is going to be 1349 plus 259 with decks and stairs and stuff, so we're within 6. We have 6 full square feet. The only real difference between what was already approved is that when the house was in the same position that it currently is, we were going to leave some pavers in place here and along this area. And now that the house is tipped a little bit, we just need to reposition the square footage of those slightly different. So the walkway will come out a little bit farther than we were originally square footage and will still be within 290.
Any questions from board members? What exactly are we approving, Martha?
So basically, it's a modification to the site plan review. So the board
Okay.
needs to determine whether it's a minor or major modification. And if minor, you can vote on it. If major, there would need to be a public hearing.
Okay. What is the opinion? Anybody have any thoughts on minor or major?
Seems minor to me.
We have a vote for minor here, vote for minor over there.
I've got minor.
We've got three minor, make it 4. So it's a minor modification, and so let's then have a motion of approval of the modifications.
Okay, I move to approve the modifications on the Ruck residence.
Want to say as a
Which
minor
is
modification?
As a minor modification at 69.
As a minor modification, the plan and premises at 69 Newburyport Turnpike, Newbury.
Have a second? Second. Any further comment?
I'm not sure that you can, because it's not a special permit here.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So many rules here.
I know.
Do you need a copy of
Thank God we
these?
have Martha.
Is it updated ones?
Yes, it'd be good for records to have that, yes.
Thank you guys very
Still
much.
living above in that small space without.
It'll be very nice.
We are having a hard time getting our tenant out of that space.
Oh, you
but
are?
We are in an eviction process. It's not going that smoothly.
Excuse me. You have an attorney?
Mhm.
Okay.
But she's Section 8, so she's pretty protected.
Oh, she is a Section 8?
I've learned a lot about the position of landlords in the state of Massachusetts in the last couple of months. It's not very
I
good.
didn't know those,
I
that
didn't-
into now.
I didn't think we had. Do you, Martha, do you have any sense of how many Section 8
I
certificates
really
there are in
don't.
town?
I really don't.
Seems odd. I just am surprised to hear. But anyway,
We got a glimmer of hope today, so we're hoping.
all right,
she's
well, good
on her
luck.
way.
Good luck.
Thank you
So-
very
Good
much.
luck, Chrissy.
So you're
Bye-bye.
you're on the Concom's agenda for
Tuesday.
For Tuesday,
Yeah.
right, so,
Same thing.
same thing.
Right. Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, Chris, Christy and Chris, huh?
Listen, Chris,
Look at that.
how are you? It's a great name you have. How are you guys?
We're feeling
Did you
good.
walk here tonight?
I did. You guys finally on the right side of town.
It's a hard night to walk though.
I'm so glad you guys are here. Does it matter where I am talking? I know last time I
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the camera's sort of pointing this way, so we could move that chair out of the way if you want to use the easel for the.
Sure.
So yeah, bring the easel a little closer.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Do you know Eileen Graff? architect?
No,
With Graph Architects, helping Chris with the project.
Yeah. She's the architect on this project and others. Yeah.
well, you've got a lot of projects around town.
She does.
See your
Probably
name
seen
all over
her
the place.
sign. Yeah, her sign's all over the place.
Yeah, good. I've never met you, so yeah, good.
Good to see you guys again. I know you're familiar with this project. Chris Horan from Balmoral Development LLC, owner of 11 Central Street, Byfield, AKA the Church Project. Let me just give you an update where we're at in the project now. I think that might be helpful. So we've done all the demo. We have put floors or framing in on the basement and most of the first floor. We've opened up all the first floor, new openings with headers and so forth and resheeting. Do you remember there was an old 13 by 15 or 13
In the back?
addition in the back? That is now removed. New foundation has been put in. I don't know if you've been by there.
I saw the foundation.
Yeah, they're framing that now. They have the first floor deck in and the first floor walls. They'll be on the second floor deck tomorrow. So that's where we're at now. The reason we are here now is to hopefully, I think you called it not their what's the word you
A
used?
minor modification.
See, if you had paid attention to this, you would have gotten that.
Right. And just to remind everybody, this is both actually a special permit and site plan review. It's a
Yes.
special permit for multifamily up to
Yeah.
4,
Thank you.
and then a site plan review.
There's nothing changing on the site plan. The new 12-bedroom septic system has been installed. It's already in. The culvert, the drainage has already been installed. So there's no site plan change, there's no floor plan change. Part of our relief was a roof line change, which is what I want to change. We needed to put, remember, a new roof line in to accommodate a new second floor that we're putting in. So, having said that,
I think the major thing, because I was able to take a look at what Martha had sent over, but I didn't remember the before and after, so that's.
yeah, I
that's
do
the
have
critical.
elevations on before too, to show you on the easel.
Helping with those upstairs?
Sure. So as we go into this project and as we,
This is after.
this is after, yes. This is before. Now, you have the rendering, it was tough to get that rendering on short notice, but he was able to do the rendering on the Central Street side, which was right here. So prior to that, the original plan was to have a big shed dormer here with the A-frame here. There was much more massing involved, but more importantly, once we got involved in the project and we started uncovering everything, in order to do this, it necessitated having to take off the whole existing roof of the church and rebuild it anew. And
So how far does that gabled section come out?
which,
On the
Really,
proposal?
what-
Was that like coming out? I don't remember.
no, this,
that.
this here is more decorative. It wasn't
It's
coming along.
decorative.
Right, it was actually,
Yeah.
Same plane.
It's the
Same
same
plane?
plan.
This is
That's
the old
exactly
one,
right.
right.
That was the same plan.
Thank you, Martha.
The original roof line was right here of the church, and we were keeping it here, and this is, it's on the same plane, and here, we were gonna make this come up. So it actually came up there. The original roof line was here. So what I'm trying to do is keep the original roof line, keep the original roof. This is beautiful old timber on this roof. It's magnificent, and there's a lot of it. So I'm trying to keep all that intact. And what I'm showing you there is a lot less mass. And I think it preserves more of the building than this would have. And this necessitates a humongous, and John can attest to it because he's been working with me on this, a lot of structure, a lot of posting down, huge amount of timber in here, let alone having to put the new roof in, just to support all this. These masses requires a lot of structural support. So economically as well, it was getting a little bit out of control. Just to take this roof off was going to be $30,000 before you even start rebuilding it. And the headroom that's required for the second floor, those dormers that you see there are more than adequate. And it does not change the floor plan. I have plenty of head height. I really just done all those calculations.
So explain now what happens in.
The other side.
Yeah.
Yep. The other side, this condition stays just the way it is, as much as I've tried to get Eileen to change it. It gets tricky, but because this, do you want to explain this part, Eileen? That might be helpful.
Sure. So,
That was the original.
That was the original.
that's the original. So, to go back to what gets removed, this gable end will remove, and it'll look more like the mirror side with the little slivers of shed dormers. And there'll be 2 of those. But then once we got to this area, due to the fact that this section of the church extends down low on this elevation here, that we lost too much volume inside by doing just individual shed dormers. And again, it would be easier structurally just to keep it small once continuing, but we lost too much space in there, and thus it couldn't work anymore in floor plan on the second floor, just in this unit. So thus, this one is a continuous one from this edge to here in the.
So where's the proposed
Elevation.
elevation for
Yes.
that?
So if you look at that one, here's that one continuously. And then the individual's much like the mirror side.
So this is the new this.
Correct. Oh, new
Right?
this, yes.
And this, actually, we can go back to this.
Mhm.
This element remains the same.
Correct.
Yeah, the gables remain the same.
And this remains the same, so the change is
Correct.
really in this
Instead of this one big
gable,
one.
to get rid of the, it's not really a gable, it's
I'm
just
sorry,
from the
it's
gable.
yeah, exactly. This instead. That's-
So we're getting six shed
Yes.
dormers
Yes.
instead of two neo gables. Okay?
This is a larger, your print copy is better on the smaller version. It's high resolution, but that's the larger.
Are you're obviously, you're intending to sell these, and you have no intention of using historic credits, am I correct?
That's correct.
And is there any historic question about any of these things, Martha, from your point of view?
The Historic Commission didn't comment on it.
Did not. And plus, they're advisory,
And they are an advisory, and this comes,
so it doesn't fall under Mass Historic Commission, any of that stuff,
and as
right?
far as our bylaw is concerned, it was built after the threshold
Yeah.
date.
I remember we went over that prior to the first approval process. And Sam has looked at this, I don't know if you've spoken to him yet or not, but he did not have a problem with this change. As a matter of fact, he said this is actually more of a minimal change to the roof line than prior to this.
Right, so what happens now on the second level that, well, now that you've got all this new fenestration, that you really, I don't think you had before?
We did, but at the previous version, we had new walls created completely. Now we're just intermittent with these dormers. So there are some areas on the second floor where we have lower.
So it really
wall
is the
heights.
same amount of light coming in, and it's at a real second level.
Yes.
It is.
It's not at, no, I see,
Yeah,
It's
the roof line is really down.
so the roof line, you were raising the roof. I didn't realize that.
No,
Right.
we weren't raising, we were never raising the total of this. No.
Raising the eave
How,
line is-
Oh, I thought you meant the ridge, sorry.
Yeah.
See, I'm looking at these,
The ridge
and that's the second floor.
Yeah, this is the second floor.
So now you have a second floor which is right at the roof line, and it's down here. So the roof line, you were getting rid of some roof, right?
prior. Yes, prior scheme. Remove the eave line on the Central Street side.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
See?
You talking about right here, John?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
See?
this used to be the trim line.
And now you
That's
keep
correct.
it,
Right now, we're keeping
and
it.
that's original.
That's original.
See, that's better.
Yeah, that's why.
That's better.
Yeah, because this was the original, and we're
And I think
keeping
I
that on
think
this one. The other one, it jumped up here.
Now it looks like a contemporary church.
Yeah, it's, exactly. And I don't think we needed all that massing.
Yeah,
This
I'm
is-
sorry for all the questions, I just didn't understand.
No. This is preserving the original roof line and lines in general much more
Got it.
than that did.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Board members, any thoughts or questions?
No, I think it looks good.
I do too.
I like it better.
Let's have a motion.
A motion to modify the special permit.
Oh, yeah, we believe it's minor. Right.
It is minor.
And I think you should do two votes, one for site plan review and one for special permit.
Do we have to, in each one saying that it's a minor?
Okay. In this matter, I move to approve site plan review modification as a minor change.
For the church, for blah, 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 right, okay. So we'll do that first. A second, please.
Second.
Any comment from us? No. All those in favor?
Aye.
I need to do it again.
For the special permit. In this matter, I propose, or I move to modify the special permit to authorize the change as proposed, or,
Yeah.
yeah,
As a
proposed,
minor.
As amended.
as amended.
Any comments? Oh, second. Any comments further?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Done.
Easy.
Thank you, guys.
Well, I mean, you're rather obviously moving forward, and you
Yeah,
can't have this hold you up.
No, I appreciate it. It helps a lot, especially with the
Good.
stage we're at now, so.
Yeah, good.
I'm a neighbor in Bill, and I think this is a great.
Oh, great.
I love it.
Yeah.
One thing's a little puzzling, though. It looks like when they put in the septic system and that, and then planting grass, what appears to be planting grass.
Yes.
But yet, aren't the two garages gonna go in what is now planted
Well,
grass?
what's happened, they have to, according to the Pearsons, they had to put grass in by code to get the approval. You need the grass. I'm gonna just probably
And you're
put
just
the
digging
grass
up.
right over it because this, yeah.
According to the Pearsons.
He said to get septic
Your
approval.
landscape guy?
No,
No.
Ronnie Pearson. He said-
Ronnie?
Yeah, he said if you put a septic system in, you have to seed it to get approval. Does that make sense, Martha? According to Debbie, anyway.
Yeah.
And I told him seed it. I mean,
Makes sense to me. I never heard that before, but it makes all the sense.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, I
You
guess.
can't just leave it somewhere.
Right, he probably spent $300 on seed. And he put it down and with the understanding that it could very well get disturbed, yeah.
Is it growing?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's actually starting to.
No,
No rain.
I just drove by.
It just started to. And all those rocks that you see on site, we're actually gonna use those.
Where are they from?
They're from the septic tank. And if you, I don't know if you remember
Well,
the
that's
original
surprising.
plan on that site plan, I wish I had it. There is a path of sort of rocks that's
Yeah,
weaved.
I never thought they were gonna be that big.
Yeah, well, I dug them up, I said, Ronnie, don't touch those. My landscaper saw them, and he said they're perfect.
Yeah.
So, we'll keep those on site. And we were able to save, remember there were 3 trees in front there?
Yeah,
The one to the far left wasn't doing so well.
right.
So, and it was right in the middle, they had to take that one down, it was in the middle of everything. They thought we were gonna take that middle one down too, but we redesigned the septic system with Debbie, so we didn't have to,
Good.
so
Good.
that worked out well. So I hate taking trees down.
Well, we like what you're doing out there. Thanks,
Well,
Chris.
thank you so much, Chris.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate your time.
Yep.
Thank
Nice
you
meeting
very
you.
much. Nice to meet you.
John.
Well, now it's just us folks. Ongoing business of the zoning amendments. I guess we had a preliminary discussion about that in the minutes. And to me, the major one was the Plum Island Heights. And so we're just waiting to hear from Sam. Sam, I forgot, only works 2.5 days here. I thought it was 3 or something like that, but say I have to catch him on a slow day.
I will not be available Tuesday.
I am pretty much available most week, most
I
times.
am other than Tuesday.
I will go back and check though and make sure. What days is he usually available?
He's in Monday and Wednesday mornings.
Oh, okay, so there you go.
And
Oh, good.
Tuesday, although I may, depending on Eric's going to set something up, so I may have an issue with Wednesday morning. But
Okay.
we'll sort it out.
And again, and now that I'm kind of freed up a bit, I'm gonna start looking at the noise ordinances as well. And on the sign thing, I don't know what to do. Maybe when we just get back into September, we'll take a look at the sign. We weren't gonna do anything for this,
For the fall, I don't think,
for any one of these.
no.
Yeah.
So, I think we're- okay, master plan, we have a meeting on the 24th, which is 2 weeks, 13 days from now, where we're to go over the land use element. I've sent my comments to Martha, I know Fred has, and
John has.
John has. So anyone else who has any comments on it should get them to Martha by tomorrow,
Yeah, Monday.
Monday. You're not gonna be in tomorrow.
Probably not.
So if you do, and then you haven't gotten any from any other members? then-
Steve mentioned.
Oh, good. Well, I mean, we need, anybody have any comments about it verbally that we want to talk about now?
I made a comment on the plan that I discussed with Martha, but it wasn't much, it was really very minor. The, where the municipal building is right now, Upper Green, that is not shown as public land or public usage.
Oh,
It had a very small smudge of blue, but the whole lot, fire station on had been changed. Was there another one, Martha? I forget.
I thought you mentioned one other, blanking on it right now. That was the one I did remember you.
Yeah, one other thing I mentioned was, should we show the water protection district, even though it's part of land usage, but just to remind people who want to use land that there is some protected land down there for the district for water.
Okay.
Some Byfield and also up near Hanover.
Right.
Anyone else? John,
That's it.
John, do you have comments?
No, what I gave to Martha was something on sea level rise, which I just kind of tucked in where appropriate in the land use. I put 3 or 4 inserts. I think we've got to say something about it too. As I understood it, there was some comments initially on what the plan should consist of, the overall plan. And one of the biggies was, what the hell are you going to do about sea level rise?
No, I think we do, and they basically left saying, what do we say about it? And basically, my comment to you was, do we have anything from Kristen,
Yeah.
Kristen, that we can begin to massage, knowing full well what you said was that you're not gonna have anything for 6 months or so.
Nothing final, no.
But if we could have some stuff that we could insert there that talks about vulnerability,
Yeah.
and talks about strategies, generic strategies that other towns are using.
Yeah.
We could maybe insert that kind of stuff in
Well,
without saying
both
that
of
that's what we're
those-
going to do.
Precisely the way you put it, both of those are available.
Yeah.
There was an adaptation strategy
So can we just-
section that was very broad.
Do you have that?
I've got a copy, sure. I don't have it with me.
No, but could you send it to, and I'll take a look and see.
Yeah, I'm
where
not
we
sure
can
I've got
insert
it in a way that can be sent, but one way or the other, I can get something to.
Something to
It won't be
Martha.
for
Get-
finish.
And again,
Right.
get it to Martha and
Yeah.
then we'll take a look at it. My general thought on it was, I think you can carp about a lot of various elements of it that might, be historically incorrect. But I thought it was an interesting document in that it was not just a typical, here's what land ought to be used for, but it was strategic. I mean, it talked about we have to have this conversation. What do you do about Plum Island?
Yeah.
And they're saying, you want to work towards severely restricting new development on Plum Island. We've never said that.
Absolutely not, and, to whatever extent we can, I feel we should.
Yeah, so.
Plum Island, Pine Island,
Pine Island.
Orchard Street.
To the
round
extent
up
that
the suspect.
those areas that are vulnerable, that we
Yeah.
ought to talk about that. And I think that was really positive. The other thing that they talked about was like that Route 1A corridor as really a potential development corridor with conservation as an idea. And I thought that was an interesting idea. So I think there was enough in there that, had in it serious questions for the town about what we ought to be doing in important areas. So I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. I think that it might be useful in the plan to show those parts of town where you can't get there from here.
Yeah.
Like Rowley Road, we won't be able to get to Rowley. The Woods Hole operation, the old Martin Burns farm on Route 1, that's going to be underwater. The only way to get north and south is via I-95. And the only way to get to I-95 from Old Town is via Newbury, because guess what? Parker Street is underwater. No, not sorry, Hanover Street is going to be underwater.
So under what assumptions are they underwater at 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 feet, or at all, and at surge?
They have set it up. This isn't the way I do it, but this is what they did, and they know better than I do, certainly. They have set up a probability thing for flooding, for a certain, for being totally inundated.
Right.
And I would much rather have it on a category 1, 2, 3, 4 storm and have projected storm surge levels. The levels they have now are subject to change, not in this study. But what Woods Hole was contracted to do was figure the direct results of a storm surge. And that's where the probability
And so
fall in.
when your discussion you just had was in a storm surge situation,
This will happen.
Those
But-
venues or
Yeah.
roadways will be affected.
There's a big but. If you want, I'll bring I've got a lot of graphics
Yeah, I would
that
like
come
to
out of
see
this, so we can bring you up to date on
I think that-
whether
Yeah,
things.
I've got the inundation map from all
So,
Yeah.
could we do that at maybe the next
The
meeting?
next
Well,
meeting.
we'll bring it to the master,
Yeah, right.
bring it to the master plan
Yeah.
session.
Yeah, but there's one but in what I just said. The assumption was the little river stops flowing. Now, in a hurricane, one thing you get for sure, besides a lot of wind, is a lot of rain. Okay? So what Newburyport and we are working on together is an attempt to get some money to extend the study they did on the Little River, oh Christ, 5 years or so back, and bring it down all the way to the Parker River. Because the Newburyport's industrial park is very, very much endangered. And most of the problem comes from the bridges in Newbury. There's like 6 bridges within our town limits that are restricting the outflow of water. So there's 2 issues. One is that has to be studied in great detail, which this study won't do. And the other thing is to study basically the little river is going to have to flow out and somehow get by this huge wall of water that's been built up by the storm surge, which isn't the way it's going to work at all.
Now, is
What's
that-
going to happen is the storm surge is going to go further back.
So you verbalize that, is that mapped anywhere, the number of bridges?
No, I think it's
But you know where they
I
are.
just know where they are, yeah. I could talk through them next time on a map. Yeah, the worst one is Four Rock Bridge on Boston Road, right near the dump. That's by far the worst. There's like a 2-foot.
So was that
difference in
historically
head
a lot
Pardon me?
wide, was that historically a lot wider?
Not to my knowledge, no, historically,
Just
that's the way it was.
That's what it
That
was.
hasn't changed a bit since I swam there as a kid. Yeah. And that was 3 or 4 years ago.
I know.
John, is there any differentiation made for storm surge between class 1 and class 5 in the hurricanes?
They played the probability thing. I don't know how they worked that.
Yeah,
But
It's hard to-
Cat 1 and Cat 4 are massively different.
Massively.
are.
We hardly ever get a Cat 5 up here. I don't think we need to plan for that.
No, because,
That's
I mean,
Armageddon.
southwest, like Mattapoisett gets that,
Yeah.
but we don't.
And they're gonna beat, a storm that bad tends to beat itself down to a Cat 4 by the time it starts to get out of the Gulf Stream, gets to cooler water, and gets over land. It stops being a Cat 5 long before it gets to New England.
Well, all right, I'd love to see that stuff.
Yeah. well,
Anything else,
we
on-
got- we got
anything
it
else on
all,
the master
yeah.
plan?
No.
Anything else? No? New business, NONE. Liaison reports. Board of Selectmen, anything new? What did they do about Plum Island?
I wasn't at that meeting, so I can't really report. I know that, I think they voted to take off the dumpsters and the porta potties. Tracy's working on various things right now.
The dumpster was there Tuesday,
Right, it's probably still gonna be there for a
and the
while.
porta potties were there too. But the police are going up and down every day, so that's, I think, encouraging. So do we have that report, because part of the master plan talks about a strategy for Plum Island Center. And do we have that as a written report that was done by the subcommittee?
There was a final recommendation by the subcommittee, but that was to reinstitute all of those things, which, you know,
Nobody wants to do it.
clearly they're having problems, so I think it's gonna be a
So that's gonna be
strategy going
contentious.
forward.
Yes, sure. On the center, has anyone given thought to using security cameras of any type?
There was during the committee meetings, John Lucy said that they are getting a camera from Homeland Security, but I don't know what the timing is gonna be to actually put that in.
But the issue too is where you mount it, because there's all kinds of private property around the center.
Right, and I think that they were gonna put it on one of the poles, but they would need to get permission from
Right.
the to do that.
Just thinking about the center for a second, what's happened to Jeans? There's no progress at all.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I don't know if he's gone through, I think he went through permitting with the ZBA.
Well, he's got an N on the, so it looks like he's got a building permit, or he's got some kind of a permit.
Okay, yeah. I haven't
But
been down there recently.
no activity in 2 months. None. I know this because I've taken my grandkids to the beach.
Do you want to take the
Past
ice cream?
The ice cream?
The ice cream.
I'm not sure what the ZBA did on that. I missed a couple of meetings early on, so don't know.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure what the final outcome was, but I'll find out.
Relative to the Board of Selectmen, though, I do have a complaint, and I'm wondering if everyone shares it or not. I really don't like the fact that all of this is recorded. I think that we should be live on TV. I think we made tremendous progress in reaching out to neighborhood residents, and people would come up to me in the street and say, we saw the meeting the other night. And what I understood from Susan was that they weren't gonna, so for 3 years, you're not gonna have live television.
Well, I'm not sure. I noticed that we've got some cameras in here now, so I'm not quite sure.
And what if you
They're
could,
not hooked up, but I will find out.
well, today's Thursday, but if you, before I call Tracy and ask her to do something, I don't know yet. That is good news. And then what about AV presentations?
We're going to be getting, actually it's over there in that box, there's going to be a very large monitor that's going to be mounted on the wall, I think over here.
And so we could use that.
So we'll be using
and
that.
hook up
We're not going to have a pull-down screen anymore.
But it's a larger monitor than we
It's a
had,
larger-
and so we
yes.
can, that's great. Oh, that,
Yeah.
all right.
Just out of curiosity, Martha, would it be possible you can ask for a camera mounted right over the table when people are spreading out plans and we're talking to them, so the audience doesn't have to see all the backs and nothing else?
I can certainly ask.
I'd ask about it because it would be interesting to see if they can do that, then people can share with us what's going on. Just a
Anything
thought.
else? I haven't seen Jeff in a while, so I have nothing else. I haven't run into him, so.
And I think he's been out in the marsh and,
Better man than I am, I can tell you
Yeah.
that. MVPC, as I said, they don't meet again until September. So there's nothing else except for Jay Ash, who I was lauding last time as the new Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. Looks like he's taking the job as city manager of the city of Cambridge.
really?
Yeah.
Dennis,
Really?
Cambridge.
Dennis,
No,
it's who you talking about?
Oh, Jay Ash.
Oh,
Who was the head
that guy, all right.
for Baker.
Yeah.
No, Dennis, I think
Dennis?
he's retiring.
Oh, is he retiring?
I
Yeah,
think
he
he's
looks like
retiring.
Ready to.
But I'll find out. There'll be a due for him in November. He's got 2 more sessions with us.
Just FYI, we're entering into an agreement with MVPC for providing a mobile app for 2 purposes. One for the stormwater testing, and the other is for James.
This is with stormwater, not Concom. This is you.
This is stormwater, yes. Yeah, we are unrelated. The purpose will be twofold. One is, and they kind of go hand in hand. One is recording the testing, okay? And keeping it in a squared away fashion so that it can be zapped out to the appropriate agencies.
Do you have a sense for other communities doing anything like that?
I'm sorry?
Are other communities doing things?
You know
are
something,
contacting with
my
them?
observation is so far, Martha, you may have different feelings. I think most people are still in a state of shock.
Whistling in the wind.
Aren't doing anything about it.
That's my
No.
sense about Newburyport.
Pardon me?
That was my sense about Newburyport. At the MVPC meetings, these
Really?
things come up and you hear people talk about it.
Who's the representative from Newburyport?
Ed Rendell.
Okay, I don't know him.
Yeah,
I know the name, but I don't.
Ramsdell.
Yeah, he's the chair of the ZBA.
Oh, is he? Okay. Yeah, I don't know him, but I've heard the name. Yeah, I think the larger communities really have a problem with this.
Yeah.
I was chatting with my ops number for Lawrence at the last Stormwater Coalition meeting, and they have no money for it. They're just going to have to borrow the funds to get themselves through this.
No, this is a self-imposed mandate that is not good.
The
I mean,
principle
the
is
results-
sound,
the results-
but it's a terrible burden on a lot of communities.
Yeah.
Because in Lawrence, there's no way in the world you can do a volunteer thing like we're doing in Newbury. You know, and even in Newburyport, it would be difficult.
And they have more problems.
I'm sorry?
I mean, Lawrence's problems are.
Oh, Lord, yes.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, yeah, I mean, we have virtually no industrial discharge.
right.
And naturally, you know, thank God the EPA is not in charge of national defense. We have like 5 industrial use, official federal number industrial uses, and not a single one of them is in the MS4 region that is regulated by this. And every one of them is a half mile upstream from our clam flats and the Great Marsh. You know, we got 3 large parking lots. 2 of them mercifully are within the MS4. The 3rd parking lot, the secondary one at Triton, is not. Our landfill, our transfer station, and our DPW barn, both of which are regarded as potential polluters. We gotta go through all kinds of record keeping and training, you know, the whole bit, for their operations, but they're not in the MS4. You know, it's done to make it easy to enforce and not to do a damn thing for stormwater.
Yeah. And the Concom, anything else you want?
No, I dropped the ball. I was gonna get all over. I did talk to Doug after our last meeting, and we had our session with Angelo.
With
I
Angelo.
failed to keep pushing him to get Angelo appropriately threatened.
Okay. ZBA?
CBI have wonderful notes of the last meeting, which unfortunately are not with me tonight, so I'll report on 2 meetings at the
Fine.
next meeting.
Fine. Anything?
Those damn notes, they just go
They just
anywhere.
disappear.
They won't stay with you.
Old guys with notes.
One thing I do have, I don't know if any of you would be interested, but this is a copy of a notice of intent to the Concom for the replacement of the culvert on Locken Road.
Oh, really?
So, yes.
Wow.
And so
it's
who's
actually-
it from? Who's the proposer? The developer?
Well, it's the developer, Livingstone Development Corp. So this is it. It's actually on the agenda for the Concom's
Yeah,
meeting next Tuesday.
I gotta confess, I haven't read the agenda yet.
It's okay, just.
I know I have to be there, but I'll read the agenda just before.
That's a big deal.
Yeah,
To
so
me,
it
it's
says
such a
nothing
mess.
about the development, it just talks about
Just about that.
replacement.
Anyone take a look for it?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's fine. Anything further on the 40B?
Haven't heard anything, I can't remember if an appraiser came in. He was hired by Mass Housing to do an appraisal of the property, and he had concluded that it really is a single, it's a single lot, that the yield plan that they showed, because it has an excessively long cul-de-sac, really is not an as-of-right plan. So.
Oh, really?
That's the last I've heard.
Very interesting.
Okay. Anything else from your perspective that you think we ought to know, since we're not meeting all that frequently these days?
Let's see. We are soon, probably the September 7th meeting, going to be getting the application for Adam True's property at 255 High Road.
Mm-hmm. You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it, so I've asked for it at least a week ahead of time. So I'll go over it then. Have not heard anything from Arthur or Ben Osgood about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And what about
405.
Glenn and Jennifer?
And I haven't heard anything from them either.
Yeah, I was noticing that they had been particularly quiet with us as well, so we'll see.
Want to talk about Borrego for a second?
I don't know that we can.
No, we can't.
Okay, that's right.
So, I think that's it.
Wonderful. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're done.